Pray Until Saturation Happens is a weekly broadcast providing testimonies and teachings that empowers the church to develop a lifestyle of prayer that impacts everything for God's glory. Now, here's your host for this week's broadcast. Welcome to Pray Until Saturation Happens. My name is Amy Everett, and I am excited to have with us today Adrian Beale, who is from Australia. You'll love his accent. And he is an author and teacher and co-author of the Divinity Code.
The Divinity Code, that's right. And also a book called God's Prophetic Symbolism in Everyday Life.
There we go. There we go. So today you're going to be challenged to understand more about God's revelation through dreams and visions and how that can increase your power and authority if you listen to God's voice in this process. So thank you for joining us. We're glad you're here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, very glad you're here. So Acts 2:17 talks about in the end times God will release visions and dreams.
That's right, Amy.
And I'm looking forward to hearing a little bit more about how that relates to your ministry.
The ministry of Adam Thompson and myself formed together a partnership or an agreement together, and we worked together for 5 years and produced a book called The Divinity Code to Understanding Your Dreams and Visions. Mm-hmm. And now we basically toured the world, letting the church or upskilling the church so they can understand that God's speaking to them on a constant basis. Mm-hmm. Many Christians and many unbelievers don't understand that it's God speaking to them. And
so the pizza dreams may not be pizza dreams,
That's a good question.
The repetitive dreams
that
people have over and over again may not be irrelevant. They may be relevant to our life or to what's going on around us.
Sorry, Amy, but they're very relevant.
Okay.
Interesting thing about pizza dreams is that the English Cheese Board did a study, and they found out if you ate a certain amount of cheddar before you went to bed, you actually dream more.
Oh, really?
So there may be a truth to that.
Oh, interesting. I would never have thought of that.
However, God all the way through Scriptures is speaking to us. And, you know, Acts chapter 2 about dreams and visions in the latter days. With that understanding, you would then expect there to be more dreams and visions that would perhaps be recorded in Scripture. And we know in Scripture that Nebuchadnezzar, Jacob, Joseph, Mary's husband, you know, all the way through Scripture you see Pharaoh dreaming and so on, Joseph. Mm-hmm. And so we know through Scripture that God speaks through dreams, and we also know that God's Spirit is the interpreter of dreams.
Okay. So how does paying attention to those or seeking God for greater revelation and understanding of what we see or perceive or dream, how does that affect our power and authority in God's kingdom?
That's a really good question, but let me just preface my comments
Sure.
on that with this. You know, our emphasis is perhaps in prayer, and I believe that it's a revelation that God's given me. You know, it says in John 1:51, Jesus speaking to Nathanael says, "You'll see angels ascending and descending on the Son of Man," and the same thing you see in Genesis 28 with Jacob leaving Canaan. It's an interesting thing. When you think about that, you would think ordinarily that angels would descend first and then ascend.
Yeah.
Why don't they come, as it were, from heaven to earth and then return?